Hello everybody, it's Thomas here again with Homesteading Bartram Style. Today, as promised, going to give you a rundown on some of the most common choices of products to repair your home with. Now today I'm going to give you some choices. Some of them are pretty common, some of them aren't so common. Some of them are pricey and some aren't so pricey. What you're looking at on your screen right now, that is kiln dried lumber. It is the most common lumber out there that we've got going. It's basically cut down trees, dried out, cut up to proper sizes. There you go. Goods, bads, uglies with this type of lumber. It's most common, it's the cheapest. It has no protection whatsoever from rot, decay, fungus, so on and so forth, termites. It doesn't handle water well at all. Usually what you find in the United States is that this is made from common yellow pine or even white pine. Lowest on the rung, so to speak. If I had a choice of using this on my floor that I've been working on or something else, well, I'm going to use something else simply because this is what rotted out on me. Our next item on the list here. Now this is the same wood, only it is pressure treated. Now it comes in two forms. You want to be particularly diligent about making sure you get the proper treatment on these. Used to, they used arsenic on this stuff. It's been outlawed, it's no longer used. It's a copper-based material now that they use to pressure treat it. They take the common lumber, they shove it back into that big tube you see that's coming, either looks like coming out of, and more or less they pump this stuff into it under pressure. It gets into the wood, they bring it out, and then they ship it off to the dealers, your local box stores basically. Now it's a little more costly per board than the others. The two forms is ground contact rated and non-ground contact rated. The non-ground contact rated will rot if you put it on the ground. It will only last out in the sunshine for so long before it starts turning ugly. The ground contact rated is usually darker, green looking, or even brown looking, depending on the chemical that they used. It won't rot so simply. It is made to bury in the ground or sit in open water. Both cases it will be fine in a marine type situation with aquatics, just so that you know. Now this specific type of wood is what I'm using, the ground contact rated, on my home. It's fairly easily to source right at the box stores. That gets us past the bottom side. Now we're up to the top side, the part where we're actually looking down at it. So we have 2 to 3 choices here, depending upon your needs. Now, under normal circumstances, most people use either one of 2 products in a normal situation. Either plywood, they use a standard plywood. It's basically just like this, only it's not treated. Now, it won't last as far as it's concerned. When it comes to water damage or anything, it will rot. The plywood that is treated that you see on your screen here, it is ground contact rated. Ground contact rated means we're getting more chemical and it won't rot. Now it will soak up water, however. Now that can be a deterrent for some people depending upon their project. My project requires me to not allow any moisture to come up. So this would soak up moisture from below. I live in a very wet climate, and it is particularly wet underneath of the home. Therefore, it rotted out the first time because standard lumbers were used. Now, on a scale of cheaper or higher priced, the ground contact rated plywood, treated plywood, is going to be more costly than your non-ground contact rated. Again, some stores handle it, some stores don't. Be very vigilant in making sure that the documentation says ground contact rated if you are looking to purchase this. Now, it's great for outside of your home if you're wanting to make sure that your sheathing doesn't rot away or termites doesn't get into it. Perfect for that situation. Now, the next thing that is on the list here is what is called marine plywood. Now, marine plywood uses woods in it that is actually water resistant. The glue that they glue these pieces together with is a type of glue that is non-water permeable. That means it's not going to allow it to soak up water or delaminate with water. Now, just so that you know, the treated lumber or the treated plywood will allow delamination due to the glues that are used. Some won't, some will. Be vigilant, take a good look at that. The marine plywood is going to be one of the most costly options, but it won't allow water through it, and it won't allow water to make it delaminate or anything else. The middle ground to this is actually a product known as Advantec. Advantec is manufactured by a company called Huber. They manufacture multiple products, but the Advantec OSB, don't let that scare you, is a product that is non-water permeable. The resin that they use to glue all of these strands of wood together with is not water soluble. It won't allow water to get into it, and it's so heavily based with this stuff. They give you a lifetime warranty that's stamped right on every sheet of plywood or OSB. It's tongue and groove based, so it slides together, makes perfect contact. You can actually glue it at the seams if you're worried. Put it down with glues and screws. It will absolutely hold and make your life a whole lot simpler. They give like a 500-day warranty, I believe, with this if it's sitting underwater. So if you're building brand new, you might want to think about this as well. It also will come in three of them, a 5/8, a 3/4, and a 1 1/8 version thickness, 4x8 panels. So the next option is back to some of the building materials, and it's Redwood. Redwood has got to be the most costly of the bunch. Now, redwood lumber is used for a lot of different things. It is by far the most natural of all woods, except for one other that I'll tell you about. It won't allow rotting, or bugs don't like it. They won't get near it. They don't destroy it like they do common lumber, so it doesn't have to be treated. It can be used as is. It does well with water, doesn't rot up real easily at all. People use it for all kinds of projects, specifically when it's outside in the rain. So it also works for framing and whatnot, but it's on the costly side. Now, the other option is actually very similar to redwood. It is called cedar, red cedar. Now, red cedar, it's very aromatic. It smells real good. It's used for a lot of different things. Old timers used to use it and put their houses up on it actually to keep the bugs away. They knew it wouldn't rot, so they'd use it for fence posts and all kinds of things where it was buried in the dirt. It's very costly, to say the least. A 2x4 made of it will cost you somewhere around $10. So with all of these, the things that I chose to repair my home with was treated, ground contact rated 2x8 joists and the Huber 3/4 inch OSB. Then we come down to the last thing, which a lot of people overlook, and that's screws and nails. Anytime you're working with a treated lumber, you have to use two different types of materials. One is either stainless steel, or the other is galvanized or galvanized coated fasteners. I used 20-penny pole barn nails because of the ring shanks on it. It goes in, it doesn't pull back out so easily. They're galvanized coated. And the other one is simply deck screws. Now, deck screws come in many kinds, and I've seen a lot of different tests done with them. I have used a very good brand of them. I use the Starbit type of heads, so keep that in mind as well. So till next time, y'all, have a great day.